All right, I am live and I'm trying to figure out the chat. I see the chat on the right and I'm just seeing. Okay, so I have the chat open on another device so I don't miss any chats. So, just an update on what's going on in case anyone joins me or doesn't join me. This will go on so people can see the video tomorrow. Um, I know I wasn't going to talk about health, and I'm not really talking about health. What I'm talking about is I did go to my cardiologist yesterday, and he is going to start me on disability. So I'll be on temporary disability just as soon as um, he's going to write me a letter. And I also go into my neurologist on the 15th of February, and he's going to write me another letter. Who's here? I see someone's here. I see two people are in the chat and nobody's typing to me. So, my doctors are going to write me on disability. Hi, Kayla. I won't say your last name. Well, it's already on there. Everybody can see who you are. My cardiologist is putting me on disability, and I see my neurologist on the 15th, and I just want to make sure he's on the same page, and he's going to be putting me on disability too. And then on February 14th, Valentine's Day, yay, interruption. On Valentine's Day, I'm going to have a TEE, which is a transesophageal echocardiogram, so they can get a better look at what's going on with my valve. I have a mechanical valve that's not working properly, so I'm going to have a third open heart surgery. And so this test that they do on Valentine's Day, how appropriate that it's on Heart Day. Can I call it Heart Day? So the reason I'm happy is because I'm still alive, and whatever this is going to be fixable yet again. But this time, I think I'm going to opt for a tissue valve because I'm not dealing with these blood clots and crap and TIAs, mini strokes, and double vision, and INR, and clotting, and it's just a mess. And just give me a pig valve. And now they're doing human valves, donated valves. So give me that. I don't want to deal with clots and seizures and crap and Lovenox injections, giving yourself a shot. Let me tell you, if no one's ever given themselves a shot, this is what it's like. Here's an axe. Chop your hand off. Yes, it's that bad. It's horrible. It's so bad. Um, so the TEE test that they're going to do on Valentine's Day, after that, they'll have a better idea of when they're going to do surgery on my heart, and maybe they'll be able to put it off for a while. I don't know. They'll have to keep monitoring me. But either way, my cardiologist wants me to be out of work because my heart rate at rest is anywhere from 100 to 107. And that's on a beta blocker to slow down my heart rate and lower my blood pressure. And I'm on something called metoprolol and Mrs. Cat Jones. The metoprolol, which I always want to say metoprolol because it just sounds better to me. But the metoprolol lowers my pulse rate. So imagine how fast it would be if I didn't take it. But he can't raise the dose on that because then my blood pressure drops too low. So he's just going to have to let me stay home and relax and not walk around a classroom. And also, I'm on my third seizure medication that's not working. So the neurologist is going to pull me out of work. And the neurologist said, if this third seizure medication doesn't work, I'm going to ask if we can try like CBD oil and stuff, because he's trying to say this brain surgery thing that I'm not my brain just isn't thinking about that. So, but anyway, if they're on the same page with putting me on permanent disability, I'm going to be doing this this traveling thing sooner than later. And I was talking to my brother-in-law about which towing vehicle to pick, and I think I've chosen a Toyota 4Runner, and I think I am attaining that vehicle within the next 2 weeks. Unless the TEE on the 14th says I have to have surgery like now, then I'll put off the vehicle for a month or so till I'm recovered from that. So that's it. So that's my update. Kayla and Carlos, are you like sitting right next to each other, chatting with me during this video? And are we delayed? Perhaps. Perhaps the B is next to the H on the keyboard. What's that baby doing? Playing with his giant blocks? My cat loves me. Whenever I come home to my camper, Mrs. Cat Jones just like purrs and wants to be on my lap. Yes, there's about a half-second delay between phones. He's off to bed. What time is it? I should be off to bed. I just washed some dishes and then I'm gonna go to bed. I'm on. Yeah, I need to go to bed too. I'm on Wi-Fi and I'm using, I got a hair on my mouth. I'm using, I thought I was using Google Hangouts, but I don't think I am. I think I'm using something else for live streaming this time. I don't know what it is, but is it coming through clear? Is it broken up or anything? Hello? There must be longer than a half-second delay. She's super cute, but CBD, in my non-medical opinion, would be great for your seizures. And it's got none of the THC in it. Oh, Cerebral Nomad says I'm perfect. What am I? That's what I do. Whenever my son says something about perfect, I'm like, what am I? What? And I'll make him repeat it like 8 times. So, perfect. Yes. So Cerebral Nomad, if you're just joining us, I'm going to have a procedure to look at my heart on Valentine's Day, and that will tell my cardiologist if I have to have my third open heart surgery now or how long we can put it off. So if I have to have it now, I'm going to hold off on getting my tow vehicle for a couple weeks. Or if I can put off surgery for a few months, I'm going to get my tow vehicle now and start traveling, because he's going to put me on temporary disability until I have my surgery, because my heart is overworking right now and he wants me to take it easy. So taking it easy to me means sitting next to the campfire with a glass of wine to calm my nerves, to relax. That's what I need to do. I need to relax. I think I am sold on the 4Runner. And I was looking into the what were the other two I was talking about on the other video? Carlos, do you remember? The Nissan Pathfinder wasn't as good, didn't have as much storage, and is more expensive than the 4Runner. So, yeah, and the Jeep Cherokee isn't as reliable. So it's looking like the 4Runner is what I got to do. But I can't find any red ones at the local dealerships, and my trailer is red and off-white. So it's got to match. That's I can't get a black one or a white one when I have an off-white camper. And I'm usually not, I don't care if things match or don't match, but you see these campers getting pulled with vehicles, and I don't want a mismatched camper pulling my vehicle. My mismatched vehicle pulling my camper. I'm flipping my words around and my sentences around. So, yeah, my neurologist has been wanting to put me on disability, but I just got this teaching job, which I love. So he said, "Well, maybe just do part-time." And I said, "Well, I already am part-time. I had to quit my full-time wedding photography because I'm having light sensitive seizures following my heart surgery. So I'm trying to teach art part-time. And now it's looking like I'm not going to be able to do the part-time because the third seizure medication I'm on isn't working. And a CBD oil is legal in New Jersey. So I'm hoping and my neurologist is hoping that once we get these seizures under control, the brain atrophy will stop, because I don't want to be like losing my brain tissue, you know? That needs to stop, because I don't like forgetting things. Like, I'll be walking through my classroom and like just stop because I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Or like yesterday I had to put grades in, and I had to click on different words on different buttons on different pages of the grading site, and I kept forgetting how to grade. Just got covered in tats like Memento. Oh, just get covered. I have to, yeah. I don't think the Memento movie, he got tattoos, but I don't think he remembered what they even meant. You agree with the Forerunner? You agree with the Forerunner needing a red one? Or you agree with the choice of the space and the torque and the horsepower and the spacious and the reliability? It's all good. And the price is good and the gas mileage is good. So yeah, I think the Forerunner, that was my final choice, and that's what I'm gonna go with. Cerebral Nomad, do you live in Arizona? I forget where you're from. Were you at the RTR? Are you like I'm not I don't remember much these days. Minnesota, okay. So it's cold where you are, right? You're in the cold right now? I'm all about heading south. My nephew Carlos that's on right now, he's in South Carolina, and I might be doing the oh, someone gave me a thumbs up. All 4 people in the chat should give me a thumbs up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to the 2020 RTR for sure. And the Cheap RV Living was discussing on his last video that he made today or yesterday about having a RTR in each of the 4 corners of the United States and doing them different seasons of the year. So maybe I'll go to the one in the Northeast, and maybe I'll hit all of them. But I'm thinking about doing the 1,000 trails my first year out, so I can, and because I have a disability, and because I'm having heart surgery soon, and because I'm having brain atrophy, I thought maybe I'd feel safer doing the 1,000 trails thing my first year out. Kayla, is that a thumbs up for the 1,000 trail, or because you're my second like? I have 8 people live. Make yourself known, peeps. I only see 3 people in the chat. So who are the other 5 mystery people? One of them is Mrs. Cat Jones, but she can't type, so she's forgiven. Oh, she just winked. Did you guys see that? Oh, she just winked again. She's winking at everyone. Aw, meow. She's my favorite. She's my favorite rescue. Still trying to find a home for the kittens. I got a woman coming over during the week that's going to help me try to adopt them out. And she said she fosters cats, but she wants to try to keep them in the house here while she's trying to find someone to take them. But Mrs. Cat Jones is feral and scared, and she doesn't get along well with the kittens. And this camper is there's probably only 30 square feet of moving space. So it's not conducive of, is that a correct word? Of multiple cat living, especially when Mrs. Cat Jones doesn't get along with the other kitties. She's getting mad even me talking about the kittens. That's why I'm moving my hands away, because she's not happy right now. She's whacking her tail. You know when cats do that ticked off tail thing? You know what I'm talking about. So my first visit, I think, will be South Carolina. And then maybe, well, I'm going to go out to Arizona. I want to see the slot canyons. And I want to go back out to Red Rock Canyon. And where else do I want to go? I want to go to San Francisco. I'll probably stop out in Huntington Beach again and visit my friend Eric, that's a photographer. And I'm going to be taking pictures. I'll bring my camera. So I was a professional photographer, so I have all this great camera equipment, and then I'll draw things from the pictures I take. I'm tired. It's past my bedtime. It's 7:17 on the East Coast, and I'm tired. Joshua Tree, yeah. Meth country? There's meth country everywhere, Carlos. It's sad. It's sad. There's meth and heroin. Heroin's really bad here where I live. Trevor's high school got nicknamed Heroin High. When he was in 11th grade, I think there were 3 overdoses. There's drugs everywhere. Except in my camper. I mean, like Breaking Bad levels. We'd watch explosions from the mountains. Wow. In Joshua Tree, my nephew Carlos said there's Breaking Bad levels of meth explosions in Joshua Tree. In Joshua Tree? Or everywhere in the desert. That's really sad. So when I boondock, I got to make sure I'm like far enough away from other. See, maybe if I do Thousand Trails RV parks, maybe people making meth aren't in the RV parks. From 29 Stumps, you'd see fires or booms in the town of 29 Palms from mobile labs. And were these just in like BLM lands, like people boondocking in the desert? Do you have meth labs in Minnesota? Is MN Minnesota or Montana? Cerebral nomad. My belly's starting to hurt. I don't know why my belly's hurting. Minnesota, okay. I should know that. I used to work at the post office. I was one of those crazy, disgruntled postal workers. I don't even know what disgruntled means. I'm such a happy hippie. Hey, baby kitty. Hi. You gonna say hi to my YouTube friends? She's ready for bed. See, she's like, when are you going to bed, biatch? Oh, can I say that on YouTube? That's our time together, like when it's bedtime and I go on the bottom bunk and she cuddles with me on my blanket. Yeah, heroin's big here too. It's sad. I'd never tried any drugs. I'm so glad I didn't. I never even tried to smoke cigarettes. And I remember friends walking to school would try to pressure me into like smoking, and I never even tried it. Carlos says, did now LOL of Joe Rogan can say the F word, you can say the B word. When I was little, they would try to get us to smoke, and my friends we played with would also try to get me to swear. And in my household, like, my parents didn't even swear. My dad swore once he got dementia, but before that, he we didn't swear in my house. So I didn't grow up saying swear words. It's just it wasn't in my vocabulary. And my friends would say, "Why don't you swear? Why don't you swear? Are you afraid?" And I just didn't want to. I didn't feel right saying those words. And then they would call me chicken because I wouldn't swear. And even today, like, I would just say the B word or the F word. Like, I wouldn't say the word, and for me to even say that B word I just said, it's weird for me to say that. Grandma did swear in her older age, but not when I was little. Not when I was little. And, like, grandma wouldn't say the F word. Grandma wouldn't swear at people. Grandma would swear kidding around, right? Like, grandma wouldn't say "F you" or anything derogatory. She wouldn't swear in a derogatory way. She'd say, like, "Hell you, blah, blah, blah," or something. I don't know. So, cerebral nomad, you are in Minnesota. Are you a full-time RVer? Are you going to the RTR next year? And Kayla and Carlos, are you gonna let me camp in your driveway sometimes? I've got to tune out, but I love you and miss you and can't wait to see and be a part of your travels. Kayla and I would love to do camper coffee talk. That's gonna be awesome. All right, bye, Carlos. Bye, Kayla. I love you guys. Yes, I will camp in your driveway between stays and other places. Bye. I love you too. Yeah, cerebral nomad. It's been in my plans for like all my life. Since I was little, my dad would go to the RV shows and we would get a plastic bag and take a pamphlet from every camper and go home and like look at the pamphlets. And when we would go in the campers, I would just love like it would be like all I could imagine is like owning one and like playing house and being in one and living in one. And we couldn't afford one, so I remember my dad wanted to take us camping and he saved and saved and saved so we could get a tent. And we got a Eureka tent and it was like a 12 by 12-foot tent. And I remember it was $400 and it was a big deal for them to spend $400. And that year Santa brought us sleeping bags. And Santa didn't tell us to not go in it head first when it's zipped up. So this dumb blonde went in head first, and I was probably in, I don't know, third grade maybe, and it was zipped. So I crawled in head first just because I thought it was a good idea to do, and I don't know if I already was claustrophobic or if this made me claustrophobic, but I went in head first. I all of a sudden felt like I couldn't breathe, was hot, sweaty, my heart was racing. I was trying to, instead of backing out, I was trying to turn my body around and get out. And I got stuck in the sleeping bag and it was just horrific. And I finally got out. I think I got out by my sister unzipping it. And it was just the worst experience of my life. One of the worst experiences. And I think either that's why I'm claustrophobic or I just was already claustrophobic and that just emphasized it. So Carlos and Kayla left. Cerebral nomads here, and there's two other people here that aren't telling me they're here. And I'm gonna yawn again. So I have to go to bed because I'm so tired. And some of us have to work in the morning because I didn't start my disability yet. I'm waiting for my test on Thursday and to see my neurologist on Friday just to make sure he's still on that same page because I don't want to stop working until I know for definite that that's what he wants to do. Because my job's already been through enough of me missing enough days, and I don't want to stop working unless my neurologist said this is definite, you know? So, Cerebral Nomad, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for the like. And thanks for the chat. Any questions before I go? Any song requests for my next morning video, morning music? Anything? Not a problem. You're very understanding of my need of sleep. I was thinking about I don't know. I was going through my sheet music today. I have like a pile of songs I play on my uke, and I could just like randomly select one, or you could put one in the comments. Landslide. I know of the song, and I've heard people do it at open mic. I don't know that I know the song well enough to do it, but I could definitely practice it. I don't know if I have time to practice it before my next video, but it's one I could definitely work on. Tell me some other artists besides, is that Stevie Nicks? Tell me some other artists. I can also play flute, and I have like an old punk rocker. I don't know any punk rock. I could do Other Side by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Does that count? Or something by Green Day. That's new punk. Yes, on the Stevie Nicks, there must be a delay. Sure what? Sure Red Hot Chili Peppers? Will that work for you? All right. I'm going to sign off because I am tired and my eyes are dried out by this electric heater. All right. Have a good night and thanks for tuning in. And I'm sorry you missed the last live chat. I'll try to schedule them more in advance. See ya. Bye. Good night.